So Kuretake sent me the Zig clean color dot markers, and they're pretty unique. I don't think I've ever seen a marker that looks quite like these, and I'm just gonna try them out and review them for you. Okay, so Kuretake sent me two different versions of these pens. I have this like more muted one and this more neon one, kind of like highlighter colors. Actually, it's called that, highlight colors. And this one's called Mild Smoky. I know that the clean color dot pens also come in a version that has a dual tip. So there are some that you can buy that have this bigger tip and a small tip on the end. But when I look at the description on here, I can see that it says enjoy big dot and small dot. So it's when you put more and less pressure on this dot. So we're gonna test that out. I think I'm just gonna like swatch the colors and test them out and see what they're like. I'm gonna start with the more muted ones because that's more my jam. It says Zig clean color dot single. So yeah, there's a double one. There's one that has two tips on it. It's water-based pigment. It says keep horizontal, so don't store them up and down. You want to store them horizontally. It also says the color on it. So this is number 409 grayish green. So I'm going to write that. You know what? First, I'm going to try writing with them because I am a person who writes for a living and I want to see what the writing is like as opposed to just the dots. So I'm going to write out okay, so it's a pretty fat line that comes out. I'm just going to write grayish because that's the name of this. But I like the flow of it. I think it's really pretty. Sometimes I like a thicker line. Let's see what it looks like if I try and overlap. Okay, so if I try and overlap to do faux calligraphy, you can really see where the lines overlap. It doesn't blend super well. But sometimes that's cool. Like sometimes it kind of adds like an unintentional shadow to it. So there's the first color. Now let's test the dot. So basically if you push straight down, if you push like hard, you get that size of dot. And if you push lightly, you get that size of dot. So basically this would be for like if you wanted to do some bullets in your bullet journal, or if you wanted to add some like little decorations to your notes or make a border or something like that. And then you can also use these as a highlighter. So obviously probably not this color, but yeah, the harder you push, the bigger the line, and the lighter you push, the smaller the line. So they're a dot, but they're kind of flexible. Okay, let me try out some more colors. This one's called Pale Moss. I like the color a lot. One thing I noticed when I did that P is you get kind of a color gradation, and you can see it here too. Like if I was pressing really hard at the start and then I let go as I get to the end of the line, it kind of automatically gives you like a gradient, which is fun. It's just something you have to keep in mind when you're using this as like a highlighter, or if you want to use it in your bullet journal. Okay, I'm just going to swatch the rest of these paler colors and then I'll switch to the highlighter. On this wisteria color, I can really see, I did this on purpose, but I'm pressing harder as you would like with a brush pen. I'm pressing harder and lighter in some spots as opposed to doing it all in one line. And you can get a bit of a variation. So you can see here where I pressed harder and lighter. So you can see the thicks and the thins. So if I press really hard and then I press really soft, you could totally do brush calligraphy with these. They are flexible enough, so that's fun. I'll do that again for this next color. Okay, I didn't think I was gonna like this brown oatmeal color, but I actually really love it. All right, and last one of this set is Pale Rose. It's a little brighter pink than I thought. Okay, so that's the Mild Smoky colors. So would say that I don't love it for faux calligraphy. For a single like monoline script, it's pretty nice. I like the thickness of it. It's pretty bold. You would want to write nice and big with this. And then I was pleasantly surprised that it did work for doing brush calligraphy, even though it's not a brush. And then I think that it will come definitely in handy for using dots like this. And now I want to try the highlighter colors. A, because I don't usually love typical highlighter colors, but B, because I think that they will actually be quite useful for adding like actual highlights to things. Like I said, I usually don't use these bright colors, but if I were going to, I think these would be really kind of nice to do that. And you know what? Let me test it with, I'm gonna write something and see if it smudges. So I've grabbed a micron pen and this Uniball pen that is what I usually use in my bullet journal, both of these. So let's see if it'll smudge. I'm gonna write the word smudge. So that's micron, and that's the Uniball pen. I'll give it 1 second to dry, but I don't want to leave it too long because that's the whole point. I want to see if it'll smudge. So I'm using this yellow one. Okay, it smudged the micron pen, which happens a lot. It's probably not the highlighter's fault. It's probably the micron's fault. I'm going to turn the pen around so that I can try it on the Uniball. And it smudges also a little bit. So again, could be just the pen. I could have let it dry a little bit longer, but good to know that it'll smudge. And yeah, this is a pretty typical yellow. Now I have ink in my dots, but it's a pretty typical yellow highlighter. Let's just do some shapes in these other colors so that we know what they look like. And the dot, test the dot. All right, could use those as like for taking notes and stuff. I wish I had had all these things when I was in university because I was meticulous about taking notes and color coding things, and these would be perfect for color coding. And you know what? I'm gonna do one more test with these. I'm gonna write smudge again, and I'm gonna let them dry. So let's continue with the rest of the colors. Yeah, so these are just like your typical neon colors. And then lastly, a simple gray one, which people always say to me, why do you need gray in highlighter? Honestly, I use gray highlighter more than any other highlighter. All right, let's try this with the pink. Let's see if these will smudge. Now I left them on for what was that, like 30 seconds? Try it out. Okay, it still smudged a bit, but not as much as the first time. And same with the second one. So I guess if you let it dry a bit longer, that would be ideal. I'm just not a patient person. So yeah, there you have it. My review of the Zig Clean Color Dot pens. Again, you can get the ones with the smaller tip on the other end as well. So if you wanted to do like smaller writing with any of these colors, and they come in a ton of different colors too. So if you wanted to try any of those out, I love the pigments of each of them. I love that they're water-based. I suppose you would be able to blend them. Let me try that actually before I lock this down. Let's try blending a blue and a pink. And you know what? I can even use this plasticky surface. So let's say I drop down some blue on here and I dip my pink in there. Will it blend? Yes, it will. So it turns purple. So you can blend them because they're water-based, so that's fun. You could probably make a million different colors out of these if you wanted to. So they're blendable, they're water-based. I love the tip. I think that's all I really have to say about these, but let me know if you've tried them. Leave me a comment down below for what kind of stuff you use them for, and hopefully you enjoyed this. All right, that's it for now. If you like this kind of video where I'm reviewing things and giving you my opinion, I'm gonna link you to another one next, and I'll see you over there.